Dzień dobry, panie prezydencie.
Dzień dobry, panie prezydencie.
Дорогі,
Добрий день.
вельмишановний пане президенте, перш за все, я дуже радий можливості звернутися до вас українською мовою.
Дякую.
Згадуючи ваш блискучий виступ в українському парламенті, який увійшов в перелік найкращих виступів в тих стінах. Дорогий Дональде, я щасливий можливості переговорити в цей знаменний день, 11 червня, коли ми рівно 3 роки тому запустили, можливо, один із найбільших проривів в європейському вектору розвитку України – безвізовий режим. І я хочу наголосити величезну подяку президенту Туску і президенту Жану-Клоду Юнкеру, лідерам держав-членів, які, незважаючи на великий скепсис, на протидію Росії, прийняли мужнє, вольове рішення щодо надання Україні, українським громадянам, права безвізово подорожувати Європою. Хочу наголосити, що це є розвиток підписання і імплементації угоди про асоціацію з Європейським Союзом, поглиблену та всеохоплюючу зону вільної торгівлі, різке зростання долі Європейського Союзу в зовнішній торгівлі, в економіці України. І я з дуже великою теплотою згадую Саміт Україна-ЄС в Києві, де ми втрьох, я, ви, пане президенте, і Жан-Клод, домовились і потиснули руку, що у нас буде забезпечено виключний перелік умов, вимог. З 80 вона зросла до 144, але це буде кінцевий перелік, який необхідний для запровадження безвізового режиму. Хочу повідомити вас, пане президенте, що станом на зараз уже більше 50 мільйонів подорожей українці здійснили за біометричними паспортами безвізу. І подякувати, оскільки коронавірус, пандемія, величезна проблема світу не закрила кордони Євросоюзу для українських громадян. І ми отримали чітке запевнення і президента Єврокомісії, і президента Європейської Ради, що безвізу з Україною нічого не загрожує. Отже, Дональде, в цей день від імені всіх українців велике дякую тобі.
Thank you very much, Petro, my dear friend. It's for me always a pleasure and an honor to have this opportunity to talk to you and to my friends in Ukraine. That the third anniversary of the introduction of visa-free regime is a good occasion to once again congratulate and thank all Ukrainians who are able to, in fact, to change the course of history, not only of your own country, but of the whole region. By that I mean such events like the Orange Revolution, the Revolution of Dignity in Maidan Square, the heroic defense of Ukraine's territorial integrity against Russian attacks, or the agreements with the European Union, including, of course, visa liberalization. As you remember, I have always repeated in Kiev and in Brussels that European Ukraine is a common goal of the Union and your nation, and that there is no just and safe Europe without an independent and sovereign Ukraine. I would like once more to thank you, Mr. President, dear Petro. We have worked together for many years so that our common dreams about a free Ukraine, which are as a part of a united Europe could be fulfilled. And the truth is that thanks to your determination, we have overcome many difficult hurdles, including the visa issue. It is even hard for me to remember how many times you intervened about this case. We had tens and hundreds of meetings, phone calls, letters and statements dedicated to this. You exhausted us completely with your stubbornness, but it was worth listening to you. As you know well, in politics, like in life, there are always ups and downs. It was also something very natural in your life, in my life. But in the end, what matters are those causes which serve the people. We have a right to be satisfied that we managed to realize several projects which are more important than, politics understood as a competition between parties and leaders only. One such project is surely visa liberalization. We are both politicians, I know it, who prefer to build than to conquer. And if to build, then bridges rather than walls. Please remember, dear Petro, that regardless of political prosperity, you can always count on me and the European Christian democracy. And thank you very much again for your determination and goodwill and imagination. I will remember our cooperation when I was Polish Prime Minister, when I was President of the European Council, and also today, as one of the best examples how to use also personal trust and understanding to manage, the most difficult goals and aims. Thank you very much again.
Thank you very much indeed, dear Mr. President, dear Donald. And I also want to thank you for the extremely firm position of support of our family, European People's Party, and you personally as a president. And I know that now the role of our family members' parties from all European member states is absolutely crucial in the continuation of the sanction against Russian Federation for the aggression against Ukraine on the east of my country. And I also want to thank you for the very important role of our family parties for providing and supplying Ukraine with the macro-financial assistance, because the decision on that was done just yesterday for 500 million euro, and increasing it for 1,200 million euro in general as a strong motivation for continuation reform in Ukraine. And I'm really proud that the messages we receive from the International Monetary Fund, from World Bank, and from the European Union and European Commission, where they recognize the great achievement in reform was done during the last 6 or 7 years. And the Council of the European Union, which take place on the 19th of June, it would be also very decisive for the decision we mentioned also on sanction matter. I want to attract your attention also on the Eastern Partnership Summit, where Ukraine should be one of the key priority for continuation of our European and Euro-Atlantic integration and continuation the agenda of the reform, which should be continuing to provide, because now unfortunately we are in danger for replacing reform to just blah blah blah. And with this situation, reform of decentralization, reform of the economy, providing the necessary step for the investment climate, reform of the civil services, reform of the independence of the judicial system, reform of the armed forces and security sector. Also the list of the reform where you personally participated and give us very valuable piece of advice is absolutely vital for us for continuation of our European integration and for adaptation Ukrainian legislation to the European Union legislation. With this situation, I am absolutely confident that the process which we launched together. By the way, I want to say hello to the Jean-Claude. I tried to call him today, and if you have an opportunity to speak with him, say my warmest regards. And unfortunately, we don't have a peace on Ukrainian land, but the key from the peace is in Moscow. And the promise is that very next day, peace would be like that. It's enough just to stop shooting. This is not a case. We should protect our values, we should protect our sovereignty, we should protect our territorial integrity, and we should protect our European future. And the valuable support of our friends in the European Union, such a friends as you, Mr. President, such a friends as a powerful group of support of Ukraine in European Parliament, where we definitely all the time can count. And I'm proud that I was the first Ukrainian president who several times take part in the meeting of the Council of European Union under your prominent leadership. That would be a great memories for me for the whole of my life by achievement of Ukraine on this valuable meeting. So once again, congratulations with a great celebration of the visa-free. Congratulations with the 50 million Ukrainians trips who happening for these 3 years. And we have a proverb in Ukrainian that better to once time to see than hundreds time to hear. And this 50 million trips is definitely play a good role for the European future for Ukraine. Thanks to you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. And Petra, just one reflection, if you allow me.
Please.
During the pandemic time, it is even more clear than ever before that the quality of political leadership matters. If we compare a different situation when it comes to pandemic in different countries, it's so easy today to recognize who is a responsible leader, who is a competent leader, and the best, I mean, in fact, the worst, but the best test, the most efficient test for the political leadership is, of course, crisis. And we are experts, unfortunately, on this, how to manage with the crisis on the European level, but also on the national Ukrainian level. And I am absolutely sure that your term as president of your country was one of the best examples in our common history.
Thank you.
Examples of a high quality of political leadership. And this is my role today also, to convince my partners in Europe to continue what we started and what we made, in fact, in our European-Ukrainian relationship. And I can only repeat that you can count on me, on our political family. I will do my best to convince my partners in Brussels and in other European capitals to continue our path. It means pro-Ukrainian in Europe and pro-European in Kiev, in Ukraine, a path. And I know how difficult and how complicated the situation is now in Kiev, in your country. If you allow me, this is also my very private, personal message to my friends in Ukraine. You have to respect, and it's a message to all of also current political leaders. You have to respect, first of all, democratic standards, fairness, and solidarity also with your opponents, if you want to build a modern, really democratic state. And I'm absolutely sure that at least for some of us, it is clear what my intention is now. It's, Mr. President, we will have also our EPP, Eastern Partnership Summit. We will see each other, and I will do everything to engage in our format, our European leaders and colleagues. You can be sure that we will have around the table also presidents, chancellors, and prime ministers during our meeting, and then it will be the best opportunity to share our opinions about Ukraine and Europe. And with your presence, I am absolutely sure we will be very, very, as always, very pragmatic and efficient.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. President. You are absolutely right. The pandemic is extremely dangerous for Ukraine. Just yesterday we have a new forecast from World Bank and from the IMF. It is worsening from 5% to almost 9% of GDP falling. Unfortunately, our local prognosis is even worse. It is more than 11% of GDP fall, and this is the great danger for the whole Ukraine. And with this situation, definitely, we as a responsible Ukrainian political parties and leaders of the opposition are definitely pro-European and assist Ukrainian government, Ukrainian president, because without us, it would be impossible. The memorandum with the IMF, the assistance of IMF, despite of the fact it is a popular or not, we are responsible political forces. But unfortunately, the danger for democracy, danger for the rule of law, danger for by politically motivated prosecution, which unfortunately happening now, and attempt to return Ukraine back to the Yanukovych time. And you know exactly what does it mean. You know exactly how it is important to protect democracy in Ukraine. And with this situation, our effective coordination is extremely vital for democracy in Ukraine, for the European future of Ukraine. And definitely, I thank you for the opportunity to discuss the agenda of Ukraine on the EPP Eastern Partnership Summit. Thank you for your invitation. I'm really waiting for our meeting. Definitely I accept this invitation, and definitely I will expect to keep my fingers crossed that pandemic allow us to provide this important summit. But from all of my heart, from all of my team, which you know very good, I want to thank you, Mr. President, thank all of your team. With this situation, definitely we count on you. Mr. President, we count on you, dear EPP family. We count on you, European Union, as usual. Thank you very much for this assistance.
And rightly so. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Petra. Thank you, Mr. President. And thank you also for your permanent invitation to Kiev, to Ukraine. And I'm really, now I'm waiting for a kind of positive change when it comes to the pandemic situation. But trust me, if the situation is better, Ukraine will be my first destination, and also because of our friendship and my trust. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Donald.
And good luck.
Thanks a lot. Good luck to you. Looking forward to see you soon.